Honestly, I'm a conservative Jewish / Israeli guy, and I used to think you were a dumb libtard. I started listening to you and me and my homie. Realized you're actually very fair, and I appreciate middle ground on this. Respect, brother. You totally changed my mind about you. Okay. Hey, listen. Heads up, guys. Okay. Heads up in the chat. There is a chance there's a whole bunch of new Jewish fans, okay, and a whole bunch of new Israeli fans that I'm picking up because you guys like my left-leaning but relatively fair coverage, okay. A lot of you are going to be really ass in a few months when the tides start to change, okay? I do not support any expansionism into the West Bank. I think that's fucking insane. I do support Israel. I think Israel is based, personally, okay? I'm a big fan of the Israeli and Jewish people. But I don't think that excuses every single action that Israel has taken in regards to their treatment of and the administration to the Palestinian people in both the territories, okay? Just letting you know, okay? If you were Israel, would you try to relocate your country to the Aleutian Islands of Alaska or stay in the Middle East and try to grind out the never-ending situation there forever? Like, regardless of whether they're in the right or not, just for pragmatic reasons. Dude, if I was Israel and I'd survived so much fucking conflict in that region, a lot of it on my own, I probably think I did have God's fucking blessing to inhabit that fucking land, okay? Boonzy responded. Oh, Control F Boonzy. Sorry, I missed you. I do not support expansion of the West Bank. I agree we should stop selling the West Bank. Oh, okay. All right, just checking. All right, just making sure. I'm just trying to be careful when I pick up new fans now that people don't get like the wrong idea of me. That you're like, oh my God. Because I've done that in the past, like 2 or 3 huge times, whether it's picking up too many fans from the left or too many fans from the right. Just want to be clear where I stand on everything. Can you give your prescription on what do you think Israel's next step should be, like Cenk did? I've already said what I think it should be. I haven't heard pushback against it yet, but also I don't know like what's realistic. Like I said, my position is like Israel and Palestine should come to a 2-state solution where borders are agreed upon and Israel turns the full security situation over to Palestine, meaning Palestine gets to have a military, the blockade is ended, somehow they facilitate free travel between the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. All of that should happen, okay? But that deal should be made under the administration of, or under the care of the United States with all of the surrounding Arab countries agreeing, with the condition that if there is some fucked up shit going on towards Israel from the Palestinian territories, the United States will come in with planes and destroy shit. That should be, I think that should be the, that's what I feel right now. But I don't even, again, I don't know what the appetite is in Washington to even iron out like a strong position in Israel. I don't know what the appetite of the American people is for any sort of like prolonged conflict in the Middle East. I have no idea right now. The problem is proxy militias like Hezbollah. Like what if they end up attacking Israel after the 2 states are established to hold Lebanon accountable? Oh, I tried messaging him on Discord, but it didn't go through. Oh, you can try to add me as a friend. That's why I'm saying any peace deal that happens in Israel between Israel and Palestine has to involve other countries. Like deals between just Israel and Palestine don't matter, right? Like at the very least, Iran needs to be involved. If not Iran, Egypt, Jordan, probably Libya and Lebanon. At the very least, I think like at the bare minimum, these, and then the United States, these are the countries that have to be involved in terms of agreeing what the future situation will look like. Iran, LOL, then a 2-state solution will never ever happen. I mean, that's what has to happen, right? It has to be, it has to involve because people keep trying to look at like Israel-Palestine as like Israel-Palestine, but it's not Israel-Palestine. It's all the other actors in the area that complicate things. You know, if it was just Israel-Palestine, the situation would be significantly less complicated, you know? Could the U.S. not just tell Iran and the rest of the Middle East to off instead of a 2-state themselves? What the fuck would Iran do? Pretty sure Iran was like the leading cause of soldier death in Iraq for like the last like 10 years of like our fucking occupation there. Like Iran is incredibly active in foreign affairs. Is it the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps? They have like they've got their own complete funding and like isolation from government activity around. They have their own funding, they do their own shit. They're involved in a ton of like foreign stuff in the Middle East, probably elsewhere too. That's why Iran has to come. I think Iran has to be at the table for any reasonable peace agreement to be made between Israel and Palestine. But again, I don't know. Again, I don't know what the appetite is for the American people or for DC to actually like start to hardcore venture into these waters and try to negotiate something. I have no idea. Iraq was a complete and total military victory, some of the largest tank battles in the history of mankind, and Saddam's army completely destroyed and or routed. We failed at nation building in the Middle East because the culture and people are incompatible. I don't know why we failed so much in Iraq in terms of the nation building part. I'm sure there's like a lot of research and write-up on that, but if you were the IDF, how would you go about the counterattack? I mean, probably doing what they're doing now. It seems like they're probably doing, you warn people, you knock, and then you go and you fight, right? I mean, that's really all you can do. I don't know if I've seen evidence that Israel, I know a lot of people keep using the term like kill civilians indiscriminately with the casualties, even with what Hamas is reporting. That's clearly not true. 5,000 that's baby numbers. Even if we accept that those are all civilians, if Israel wanted to kill civilians indiscriminately, there'd be far, 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 far more death. But yeah, I don't know. Chat is on the screen. Oh shit, why is this not working? Hold on. Refresh. Would you consider Palestinians lucky to the degree that they get to live in Gaza, opposed to the winner-take-all mentality of previous generation where you normally just force people out? I don't know if I would consider anybody lucky to live in Gaza. At Destiny, in your interview with Cosmic Skeptic, you said that a group may be justified in using violence against another group if their values are so different that coexistence is not possible. Using this logic, isn't Israel justified in wasting the Palestinians? Not saying I agree with this logic, but I don't know how we fix this if Israel wants to exist while many of the Palestinians want to destroy all Jews. When I said that, I qualify that heavily. I don't know if there are actually massive groups of people with fundamentally incompatible, like, ethical or moral values. I think most humans have a pretty similar foundation. Again, if I had to guess, I could be wrong, but I still view like Israel-Palestine primarily through like a geopolitical lens, not a religious or ethnic one. I feel like there is a path where Palestinian people don't want to murder all Jewish people, I think, but I might be ignorant too. Maybe there's more bloodlust there than I'm actually aware of. So I have to be careful of that, I guess. But Palestinian schools teach children that Jews are evil and should be killed. I think you're wrong on this one. Yeah, but that probably has more to do with the arrangement right now in the region than I think like just like built-in religious reasons. Somebody in YouTube chat earlier said, do you think most people who are against Israel are anti-Zionist or anti-Semitic? Also, why do you think Jews have been such a target for so long? I'm going to try to be more careful about this. I need to be a little bit more foreseeing, I think, a little bit more prescient about what happens in the future. So I would say there's a huge difference between being anti-Zionist and anti-Semitic. I think the majority of leftists, non-Middle Eastern and non-Arabic and non-Islam leftists, I think are just anti-Zionist. They're not anti-Semitic. But I would say you need to be very, very, very careful because I feel like anti-Zionism, as I've seen on Twitter at least, anti-Zionism can bleed into anti-Semitism so unbelievably quickly. Like if you criticize like hood culture or gang culture or rap culture, that can bleed into racism very, 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 very quickly.